So I think that almost triggered me as well, because it made me always worry like what other people would think or have to say about my posts. If I could choose one platform, that is the one that I would choose to be on forever. They were so horrible to me, and then they had the audacity to try and follow me. Like, what are you doing? After I was like 14 years old, I was kind of like, you know what, I don't want to be on Instagram. It took me like 2 years until I next made another account. Hi guys, today I wanted to share a different video because I was trying to film this on TikTok and I was going to post it on my stories, but I realised how long it kept ending up being, and I've tried to record it multiple times now as well. I'm going to make a long video and post it on here. I want to make this because no one has really heard this part of my social media journey. I'm going to try and put chapters in the video though, so if you want to like skip to a specific topic, you can. So just a little explanation. My Instagram it's been all over the place, honestly. I feel like I've tried to make it like an aesthetic account, fashion, just video content. It's just been through it. So I've never really known what niche to stick to, because I've always thought, you know what, there's only a certain extent I can film this kind of content for or shoot this kind of content for. I kind of took a break from trying to figure out my specific niche and focused it on making my feed look nice and aesthetic, because I like kind of putting effort into my feed and stuff, but making sure that I'm still real and still myself with my audience. So I like doing that on my stories. I like keeping it nice and curated and pretty looking in the feed, but I don't really like sharing the vulnerable sides on there. I'd rather post it on my stories. It's just what I'm more comfortable with, but then at least I'm still sharing that side, and I think that's important to do, because I think a lot of people believe that social media is super fake or it can be a really toxic place. I think honestly it depends on you, and it's your choice to make it a better place. I think you can definitely change that. It's different if you have a public account and you grow a following, because the bigger your account grows, definitely the more hate you're gonna get. It's a horrible thing to deal with, but that's just how it is. Instagram is my #1 platform. It's the one that I'm most comfortable on, the one I feel the most myself on, and if I could choose one platform, that is the one that I would choose to be on forever. I have grown up on it, which is the main reason why I feel this way about it, but I truly do enjoy being on there. It hasn't always been easy, which is why I'm going to talk about that today. I think the very first app I joined was GIFboom. Is that how you say it? Or GIFboom? My sister introduced me to it. It's kind of like Instagram, but I don't even know if it exists anymore. I remember like when Instagram first launched, or around the years it first launched, was when I joined. I was 9 years old, a ridiculous age. Now when I look back at it, I'd say like if I had a 9-year-old daughter, I would not let her go on social media at that age, because that's really young. But fortunately for me, I never really struggled with the typical things a lot of people struggle with when they join social media, because I think the main thing people worry about is children's safety, bullying online. I think those are like and like comparing yourself or like your appearance to other girls your age or older, like the people you look up to. But honestly, I never struggled with any of those 3 things, fortunately, but I did struggle with other things, that's for sure. That will come later on in the video, but for now let's just talk about the very beginning, okay? So I made my account because honestly it was just becoming like this popular thing to join Instagram, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of curious to know what it's like all about. I never told my parents about it because I didn't want them to find out that I joined at such a young age, because I knew they wouldn't approve, and I did hear their opinions sometimes on social media, and I knew they found me too young to join anything like that. But instead I did it anyway, and I joined at that age, which is very ridiculous. But you know, now I look back on it, I don't actually regret it. I think I did have a few years where I was struggling a lot on there, but I don't regret it overall, because now I have more experience on there, and it's like, as I said, my main platform. I post on there all the time. And I've got multiple accounts on there. But my first account I ever made was just like a private one. It was a personal account, so like I just let friends follow me, I let people from school follow me. I think I started off by letting people in my grade follow me specifically, and like obviously my friends, but other than that I didn't let anyone else follow me. And then over the years I switched that up, and I kind of let people in my whole school follow me, like no matter what grade, and I'd follow some people from various different grades as well. Wouldn't think anything of it, it was fine. And then just honestly, with the first account I ever made, I was just like, I'm kind of over this and I don't really like it. I want to start fresh. So I deleted that one, I think when I was 14, I want to say. The next one I made was the same idea, a personal one, but it was also private. And then honestly, I just ended up hating that. I felt more uncomfortable on there. I think it was because of the people I was letting follow me. I feel like in middle school to high school, people are more judgmental. I don't know why that is, but I just feel like that's a common like fact. Like people find it harder to make friends in middle school and high school. During that period of my life, I was getting bullied by boys in my classes and in my grade. So I think that almost triggered me as well, because it made me always worry like what other people would think or have to say about my post. But you know what's actually funny about that? Fast forward a bit later to a few years later, there were two specific boys that I can think of that joined social media, joined Instagram in particular, and they tried to request to follow me, and I just found it funny, honestly, because they were so horrible to me, and then they had the audacity to try and follow me. Like, what are you doing? I didn't understand it, and I blocked both of them, by the way. So that's 2 accounts, and then I think I made a 3rd one, and honestly I thought that was going to be better, but I think I got into the same like problem where I kind of let random people follow me. It was like a mixture of my own friends, people from school, whether it was like younger or older people, and then even like other people in Singapore, like from different schools, not just random strangers, but like people from different schools around my age. Or like my school had 2 campuses in Singapore, so I followed a lot of people from the other campus and they would also try and follow me. But I honestly regret that. I think that was the worst account I had, honestly, the last one, because it just became too much. And the reason why it became too much was because I was so worried about my life and their lives, and I hated that. Like, I was getting so invested. Like, every time I went on social media, I was getting so anxious, like just scrolling through. I hated it, and I still did it because it was like almost a habit at that point, because I've just done it every single day, like for years. But I think going through it and seeing what people were up to, or like, almost triggered me more and made me like more anxious and stressed to go on there, because I would always be like, oh my god, like I'm here just sitting in my room scrolling, and they're out at parties, or they're succeeding because they're doing this in their life, or you know, just different things like that. And it really made me feel bad, and at the end of the day, it's pointless to worry about, and I obviously know that now. And I'm definitely in a much happier place now, by the way. It upsets me so much how I really worried so much about what would these people think if I posted, and also like going on there, I'd always be like, oh my god, like I'm failing because I'm not doing what they're doing, and it's just stupid. Like, I think after high school, when you're 18 years old, you know, you're figuring out who your friends are, you're figuring out what you want to do with your life, and some people are so lost and they don't know what to do, like me. I still am like that, and I'm 20 now, I'm nearly 21. Or people dive into a course for uni that they don't even want to do, or that they're pressured into doing because of their parents, or I don't know. Or maybe they think they are interested in it and they want to do that for the rest of their lives, but then like 3 years later, when they're just about to finish their course, they're like, actually, I hate this, I don't want to do this anymore, and they change courses. Or they leave uni, like they drop out of uni because it's too much for them. I look at it in more of a positive way, as in like, I'm so glad I'm not there in a university, because I wouldn't be happy. I just know I wouldn't be happy. I don't know what I want to do right now. I think I need more time to like figure out my interests again. So I ended up deleting that account too. Surprise, surprise. The account I had before this current one I have, I was starting to like lose interest in posting, and it was so bad to the point where I was like, I just stopped posting a lot. And I think I was posting like every Christmas, really. That's kind of it. Sometimes I post in between, and then I'd honestly just like keep archiving and unarchiving them and all sorts. It's just like, I never really had a good relationship with my posts, and I didn't feel proud of them. Or I always just had in the back of my mind like people's opinions, or I assumed people's opinions of my posts, which was so stupid, by the way. Don't do that. But I know it stems from something. That's why it was so bad for me. I think I needed to realize that the reason why I felt so horrible was because of other people, and the people I was either choosing to follow or the people that I was letting follow me. I always regretted it throughout the previous years of posting, and then I finally came to the conclusion that that's what it was that was bothering me, because if I followed people that made me feel positive or followed any other accounts that like inspired me and made me feel better, I'd be fine and I'd still have those accounts, but I just couldn't cope with them, so I had to get rid of them. And deleting them felt scary because it's like you're deleting something permanently and you can't get it back. Like I think you keep, like, it's temporary disabled kind of for like 2 months and then they actually permanently delete it for good. But it is a scary thing to like press the delete button, because you know, when it's something permanent and you can't get it back, sometimes you regret it. And I think that's why I kept making new accounts. I was at a point where after I was like 14 years old, I was kind of like, you know what, I don't want to be on Instagram for like a while. And I think it took me like 2 years until I next made another account. During the second last account, I actually made the current account I have now. I think it was like 2021, I want to say. Let me check, actually, I'm curious. In April of 2021. So I created it then. I don't think I really started until like, I don't know actually. But I remember posting and I was like, whoa, wait, actually let's see when I posted. So April. I think at first I had this account as like a photography account and just like a sort of fun thing to do. I didn't like post anything of me. And then I changed that up in September of 2021 and officially started posting, putting in effort and stuff. And that was before all the big changes with Instagram, and I feel like from then on, it's the postman, so that's why Jack's barking, I do apologize. But from then on, that's when I was like, that's when the algorithm sort of went a bit weird, and ever since it's been really hard to grow on there for a lot of people, unless you're like a newer account and you really post good stuff, and you know, keep it going and get good engagement and whatever. It's complicated, so I won't get too deep into that because that's not what this is about. But yeah, created it in April, started posting this kind of stuff in September of 2021, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna turn this account into a new one and post with effort and taking Instagram seriously for once, because I think that's something I'd love to do. And at the end of the day, I realized like I've always come back to posting something, whether it's a photo, a video. I've always enjoyed it. I said this in one of my really old YouTube videos, which I don't even know is like still up or not, like it might be privated now, but I said that like I have loved making videos and like filming myself doing whatever since I was 7 years old. And obviously, as I said, I joined social media when I was 9, so all this, like, so the two combined, I feel like is something that I've always wanted to do, but I've just never been confident enough to do. So that's why I like took it to the next level and tried to do it. At first I never posted my face, and then I started to post my own content, and it was kind of scary because I feel like in Singapore, because it's such a small city, you kind of know everyone, or at least I did. Like if I went out in public, I definitely see like a few people I knew, whether it was because I had followed them in the past or I was following them, or I'd just seen their social media come up, like their posts just show up on and like be recommended to me, whatever. So it's kind of like you know everyone, and it's so small that you could kind of just like figure out who someone is just from their Instagram or just from their social media. I decided to delete my old account when I moved here, and then I tried really hard to make this like get this going, this account. It became my happy place and I really liked it. And obviously I said it's, you know, it's gone through all sorts. I'll screen record and like put it on this side of the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. If I scroll all the way down, come on. So you can see this, I posted on the 29th of September. This was really like when I first started posting. I do have some archived stuff, but I'm not going to show you that right now because I don't want to. But yeah, it started off with just like these kind of photos where they were almost like sort of filler looking photos. They were just there for the aesthetic, and this was like my first reel I made of the lights in Singapore when we went for a drive. That was really nice. And then I started posting more like sort of fashion stuff. As you can see, my likes were really high then. Like look, 136 likes. What are you talking about? Like 99. When I first started, like this was when, you know, people really enjoyed content and reels first started. So that's why it was like, I think it's different now because there's all sorts of like opinions on this, but people were saying like reels were being prioritized more than still photos, and then carousel posts were more important than just one photo. But clearly in these, like looking back, this is one plain photo and it's got 101 likes, so it's crazy. And now I get like 10. But to be fair, I haven't been super active on there for a long time. But yeah, you can see how my account has kind of changed. I introduced reels and I started doing these like different sort of Singapore posts because we were leaving, so I wanted to kind of make the most of it and share that. And I was making videos on TikTok. That's when I first started TikTok as well, in 2021. I started like actually posting a few videos of my own, and like I kind of just romanticized my life and like filmed stuff I was getting up to, like a walk in the Botanic Gardens or taking a trip to the National Orchid Garden, the Flower Dome in Gardens by the Bay, all sorts. And then I started these kind of like monthly photo dumps because I knew that started becoming a thing then, and I really like how they all turn out. I still do it now. I just, last year I think I did like January and February, and then I forgot about it and I just gave up and just decided to start fresh this year. So I want to get back into that because I really like those. But yeah, it's just it's been a mixture of stuff, and then I introduced like beauty, this kind of stuff, and it's just all changed, and then like the aesthetic kind of stuff, and now it's just kind of like whatever I want, bits of my life, aesthetic. I'll like make mini vlogs, I'll just make all sorts. So it's really changed. Okay, I can move back into the middle now. It's just been interesting to like go through all these different emotions of like just from a social media account. It's crazy, but I was like almost scared again because once again it's like permanent, so once you've done it you can't get it back after a while. But I'm so happy I got rid of all those other accounts. I now have 4 accounts that I put a lot of effort into. I put effort into my photography account, but I don't really post on there. When I first started it, I started it because I wanted it to grow like my food photography one, but I actually changed that up, and I was like, you know what, I want it to just be there for when I want to post, like for fun. I honestly believe that if you really want to start your social media journey, you should. There's also a lot of things to think about. That's my journey basically, and I'm really proud of how far I've come, and I think this account has made me more confident and made me way happier. Honestly, the main thing is that now I let friends follow me that are like my closest friends, and anyone else that follows me are people that like what I do and have similar interests as I do. So it's like a nicer feeling, and we're all like on the same kind of journey. It feels better when you're kind of like in it together, if you get what I'm saying, and you can all like relate to the same thing. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that. I've never really spoken about this, but I think that's going to conclude the video today. I've been talking for ages. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.
Yeah, I'm living this life with a different attitude. Don't flip, don't trip, keeping up the good mood. Cooking up some good food with my friends in the street. Yeah, people wanna chill, they can come and speak to me. Cause all you gotta do is just ask. Cause we can always get another